Hi, my name is Maja and I work in Cantega and I'm based in Oslo, Norway. I have a short talk about what I've learned in the project that went all the way from heaven to hell. And before I tell you more about the project, we're going to take a short look at some theory. Because most projects are complex. But even though I know that, I behaved as if this one was just complicated. So what is complex? Complex, complicated. It's a good way to understand that is to read about Dave Snowden's Cynefin framework. If you don't know it, check it out. It's a good way to organize or to analyze the work you do and try and find out what kind of methodology fits best to get it done. If the work you do is simple, you can make a routine, you can standardize, and you can maybe do it faster and faster. If it's complicated, it can be really difficult, but still it's something you can teach, and there's a right way, a best practice to do it. But when you get on the other side of the model, it gets unordered, and we use the words complex and even chaotic. So if the work you do is complex, then there are many ways of doing it, and there is not possible to say exactly what would be the best way. So you have to try and test and watch and learn as you go. So when the work is complex and even chaotic, you need to be good at learning and be adaptive. But if it's simple and complicated, so more ordered, you can be taught how to do it. I like also the book Team of Teams from McChrystal. Recommend that. He has an illustration in there that shows very good, that's my opinion, about how the complicated has, how you can follow it. Like if you put that in, it goes like that and it comes out, and this is how it works. It's like if you take a watch and you take it all off and put it into small pieces, and you can put it back in again. But when it's complex, it's different. You would not know exactly what happens if you take a square and make it bigger, or if you take away a circle, new relations will happen, and that's very interesting. Usually we work in a mix of complex, complicated, and ordered, and not very often we're in the chaotic side, but maybe now under the corona situation there's quite more chaotic than normal. So, a few years ago, we had won a tender to develop software solution for end users and how they could get their data that were far back in some back office systems that we should integrate with. And it was great. It was a small, nice project with 5 people going to work for 5 months. It was manageable scope. The objective of the project made sense. We had a good procurement contract. It was agile. We were co-located with a client. We were cross-functional. We had everything. And in the beginning of the project, I was not a part of the team. But I had a role as a team coach. And at that time, that meant follow the team closely, come by every week, check in, see if everyone was okay, and make sure they follow all the agile principles. But these red flags appeared quite quickly, and the team would say things like, what exactly is the value again of this project? Decisions are not made. Heard that one before. The client doesn't understand. And the client would say, can it really be that difficult? Why doesn't it go faster? Don't you have anyone in your company that knows how to do things? I can't deliver good work. And it will go all the way to, I won't have my name on this code. And I go, wow, really? Oh, that's crisis. Oh, this is not going to work. And then the team members would withdraw a little and they go, yeah, well, we'll see. Well, I guess everything's possible and we'll do our best. And I go, maybe it was just a storm in the teacup. And I'm quite in a hurry. I have another meeting and I have to go back to the office, and I'll run off and I come back the week after, and I, and the project continued, and we did a lot of things. Of course, we had better and better retrospectives, and we wrote better status reports, and we tried our best and changed a lot of things, and we did manage to build a very good team. I would like to say that they supported each other, and maybe in the beginning there were more fighting inside the team, but that at least helped. But maybe one of the reasons for building this good team was that we had a common enemy. Anyway, we met our first delay, and the disagreements escalated, and the lawyers starting billing both sides, and we had another delay, and we had another delay, and another delay, and then after 2 years, instead of 5 months, we were finally finished. We got in production, and we were not happy. I personally wanted my 2 years back, because I couldn't see the reason why we had delivered at all. Because when we did go in production, we learned also that the client had started a new project to build new software to replace the one that we had finally managed to finish. And we were not proud of the code because we had made a lot of changes and we hadn't done it the way we wanted to. So I have spent a lot of time thinking, what can I learn? And right after the project, we had a very good, thorough retrospective, and we discovered more than 40 different don't do this things list again. There were so many things that went wrong, and I thought, I can't remember 40 things. I can't have this huge list of don't do this next time and then everything will go okay. So I kept on searching. And in the beginning, my first conclusion was that I was the problem. If I had only been someone else, this would have been so great. And that's quite a big ego talking there, because if we look at the theory again, and we agree that projects are complex, so we're in the complex part here. And then by saying that if only maybe I was a little square in there, if only I had been someone else, everything would have been okay. It doesn't work, does it? So I kept on searching, and my next conclusion was that actually it doesn't matter what I did or what I didn't do. It's all a coincidence, because it's impossible to make a system, make a plan, and make it work. So I kept on searching, and time went by, and here I am, and I finally ended up with my top three things that I have tried to keep on thinking every day, and hopefully that helps me stand better in the complex work, because I have learned that I don't like that much being in the complex work, which is a bit sad because a lot of what I do is complex, so I have to learn to like it in a way. Or anyway, here's my 3 things. The first is to listen, and that is quite hard because you have to be focused and you have to have your ears on. But I realize when I'm under pressure and a lot of stress, I kind of shut my ears off. I don't hear anything. It's kind of difficult, and you have to listen, and the message that you receive are not that clear, and they will maybe say, it's a big crisis in one day, and the next day will say, well, it's okay. And they will withdraw, and maybe they will say, well, I've had better days. And you have to listen, see if you can find patterns in what you hear. See if that gives you enough information. Here is something, you have to go on and dig into it. And then we come to the next, and that is take your time. Because let's say you're a good listener and your ears are always on, and then you get into the problems and you have to start working with them, and that takes a lot of time. But it's a challenge because everyone's so busy. I was busy delivering all kind of reports and coordinating and communicating and whatever I was doing, and and the team was busy delivering. And I forgot to say, I think, that when we had started having these delays, and I was 100% allocated in the project, and I was as a project manager, so I forgot to say that. Anyway, take your time. That's hard, because it is with problems as with projects. They are complex, so they don't have one solution. They can have many solutions, and maybe you've found the wrong problem. Maybe it's not the core problem. And anyway, you think, let's do this. That's a good idea. Then you have to stop, and then you have to listen and watch and see what happens. Did it work what I try to do? No, maybe, yes. So you get this build, measure, learn circle, or sense and respond is also a great book. And it takes time. So, but let's say you're good in listening. Your ears are on. You take the time needed, and you dig into the problems. Then comes the last part, and that is the hardest, and that is to be brave. Because it's this problem with problems that nobody wants them. They don't meet you with open arms and say, come here, a lot of problems. No, when you bring the problems up and out, then your managers has to take their time as well into these problems. And they told me, as I told the team in the beginning, I told the team members the first months, I say, think positive, be proactive. What can you do differently? What can you do to change the situation? But then when I got 100% allocated in the project, I was positive in the beginning, but then quite quickly I ended up in that same frustration, and I was the one who got the message from my managers. Maja, think positive, come with solutions, be proactive. So it's kind of hard to deliver all the problems. And then you have to be brave and stand your ground. And I couldn't do that in this project. After a while, it just didn't, I didn't do it. And why was it so hard to be brave? Well, I think that it was because it's very hard to be brave when you get scared. Then you communicate quite poorly and maybe not that clear, and it's hard for the others to listen because you're not that good at communicating. And so the final learning has been, how can I better stand in the discomfort that it makes me, feeling that I can't do my job good and nothing works and I can't help out. I love helping out. I love it when people are happy. So how can I better stand in that situation and that discomfort that it makes me, that I cannot solve things because I'm not the one with the answers. I have to keep on saying, I don't know what to do. Let's sleep on it, etc. So I have these 3 things that I try to have as a mantra to better stand in this discomfort and this scary situation of complexity. And that is, don't take it personal. That helps. It has nothing to do with me. A little bit to do with me, maybe. Anyway, don't take it personal. Stick to that. And the next thing is take a break. Go for a walk and breathe. That is extremely important, and it's so simple, but so hard. And the third is to have fun. Have humor. It's not that serious, usually. And I have a 4th one that I heard recently from Brene Brown, and that was try to be scared without being scary. So that's it from me. Thank you for your time.